Today I want to talk to you about the fastest way for an INFJ to grow. And when I'm talking about the fastest way to grow, I'm not talking about the fastest way for you to make money, the fastest way for you to build wealth, the fastest way for you to get popular. I'm talking about the fastest way to you becoming so completely you that you know there's nothing that you're not tapping into, that you know potential is all that you are. And as I always say, of course, it's a spectrum. I'm not that naive to think that I have tapped into all of my potential, but I have started a process 10 years ago that has been eye-opening for me and has changed absolutely everything. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that we grow in relationships the most. Most people tell you, okay, don't be in relationships all the time. You need to be by yourself so you can find yourself. That might be true for most people because a lot of people use relationships as a buffer. As in, I don't want to deal with what's going on within me, so I'm just going to attach to another person and then I'm going to live in the illusion that all is great. We INFJs come from a different perspective. For us, being in a relationship with another person, and I'm not even talking about romantic relationships. The closer the relationship is to you psychologically, the more you will grow. But that doesn't mean that, close friendships, that colleagues, even people who don't like you, don't have the ability to make you grow. Because every single person that is in your life, you have a relationship dynamic with. So let's talk about it. Why is that the case? Why do we as INFJs are able to grow the most if we allow relationships to happen, and how we can make the most out of it? What is the reason that we INFJs should actually lean into relationships more, and with what approach can we tackle them? Because that's going to make the biggest difference. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you want to take to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. It's a do-it-yourself course that you can listen to wherever you are, and that is based on you taking the steps in your life, not just in your mind, on tackling everything you ever wanted as an INFJ. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. I've talked about in the last video that we as INFJs are mirrors. This is nothing new. We hear and see this over and over again, but it's important to be really aware of it. When you get into a relationship with another person, you're going to trigger people. The more healed you are, you might think, oh, I'm going to trigger even more people. And to some extent you are, but it's not going to look like that to you. Meaning, the more I'm being myself, the more healed I am, the more I'm going to be a mirror of the truth. Meaning, if I stand in my truth, I can mirror that to everybody around me because I see the world the way I am. So if I'm healed, that's the kind of mirror I'm going to be to the world. And so every single person who comes into contact with me will have that reaction. That being said, that doesn't mean that most people will want to be in my vicinity. It's actually the other way around. The more healed you are, the stricter your boundaries are going to be. And so people don't really get the opportunity to get triggered that much. It's actually those in-between phases that make people get triggered. It's when you're just about to go to the next level. That's when people get triggered. Because you are still in between two perceptions of the world, a perception of attachment and a perception of, more authenticity. And I talked about it in the last video. But when it comes to relationships, every single time a person gets triggered by you, every single time you get triggered by another person because of that, it's an opportunity for us to grow. Because we can take a lot when it comes to people putting negative energy onto us. And if we approach a relationship not from the perspective of, I'm a martyr, I'm good at surviving, I can give so much and all I need to do is keep my head above water, right? If we know that this is a coping mechanism, that this is not the best approach for us INFJs, that we're ready for the next step, it will mean that we will allow stuff to come up. We will allow stuff to come up that will trigger us. We will allow stuff to come up that triggers the other person, and we will analyze this. we will see this as an opportunity. We're not going to get offended. We're not going to get hurt. We're going to be able, and this is, of course, if you approach relationships this way, that every single time there's something that you feel inside, and that is independent of if you triggered the other person or if what the other person says triggers you. In both cases, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it because the energy that the other person is bringing to you, the energy that you do absorb, if it has an effect on you. And you can really make sure that this is the way you approach relationships. So you're really keen on looking into it. You take a step back. You understand, oh, this is something that doesn't make me feel good. Why not? And then to ask yourself, is this just some energy that I don't like? And, that's more about me understanding myself and setting a boundary. Or is it that I feel this energy because I'm not living out something I want to live? So these two reactions are two of the biggest catapults when it comes to our growth. You cannot feel them when you're by yourself. You can't feel them when you're in hermit mode. So I've had a series last year that was all about make the best out of hermit mode, use that time. But know that, at some point you have to get back out there. You have to start having relationships again, one way or another. Because if you want to grow, and nobody says that you have to, right? If you're happy with being in your hermit mode and you're fulfilled and all is great, why change something? But if you do feel, oh, I'm ready for the next step, I want to experience more, I want to feel more alive, I want to tap more into my potential, I just want to feel alive, then relationships like this are nothing to run away from. Because those reactions we have within ourselves when somebody is giving us an emotion we don't want, or we're experiencing an emotion that tells us, oh, there's something I'm not tapping into. There's something that I want to prove to the other person, but if I want to prove it to another person, then it's probably because I'm not proving it to myself. And the way I'm proving it to myself is just being that energy. So let's say you know that you have what it takes to win in a certain competition. Something that you're really good at, something that is bringing joy to you, something that you love to do. And you're trying to convince another person of it. And they say, I just don't see it. That's what you're saying, but I don't experience it. I don't see it. Maybe you're right. For most things, I don't have a reaction if a person misunderstands me. And I believe most INFJs are like this. But from time to time, there's something that somebody misunderstands about me, and I do have a reaction. And when you're in a situation like this is amazing information. I always get excited when I have this because it tells me, oh, there's an energy I'm not tapping into. Maybe I should start going in those competitions again. Maybe I should be in that kind of energy because that energizes me, because I love the process of it, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't be feeling that. And so this is one option. The other option is, again, you being yourself. That triggers another person and they act in a way that doesn't make you feel good. Or even if you don't do anything necessarily to trigger them, but the way they act is just something that doesn't make you feel good. Let's say you have a person who's constantly gossiping, or a person who's constantly, talking bad about other people in front of you. Through that dynamic, you will learn something about yourself, which is, I don't feel good about this. If I would really try to rationally explain it to somebody, maybe it wouldn't make any sense. What does that have to do with me that another person is getting upset or that they're angry? They're not angry towards me. But the fact of the matter is, I do feel their energy. It doesn't make me feel good. So if I really wanted to protect myself, I would choose authenticity over attachment, which in this example would mean that person might think I'm completely crazy. I would set a boundary and say, if you want to be around me, I don't want to hear that anger. Go vent it to somebody else. I'm not here for it. And they might think, oh, you're selfish. You're, totally self-absorbed. You're super sensitive. Most of us believe to our core that there's something wrong about us, that we should be able to take this. And we don't say anything, because if we would, people would actually see us for who we truly are. But if we take that step or not is our prerogative. We don't have to be fully healed all the time. We don't have to feel bad if you don't have the strength yet to set a boundary in that area. But the acknowledgement of what's going on, the ability to see that this is a great opportunity for us to set boundaries where they're needed, and or to tap into energy that we're not tapping into because we think we're not allowed. That like, who am I to allow myself to just live so freely and show people how happy I can be, although that might trigger other people. Those realizations won't come if you don't have human interaction, because in your own world, when there's nobody around, you are finally able to be yourself. And so I really encourage you to lean into relationships. That does not mean that you have to have 50 friends. I, for example, don't have much contact with the other parents in, my kids' kindergarten. It's just not me. I don't want to have that much contact with people in real life. It will have an effect on me. But I still know that relationships have always been the biggest catapult to my life. If it was relatives, if it was romantic interest, if it was, my best girlfriends, I have never grown as much as through relationships. And so when you hear people say, oh, you should be by yourself, that's the time to grow and find yourself. Well, great. Yeah, for some people that might be true. And, it's still important for us to go through that hermit mode. But if we can hold on to a foundation and we know that I feel secure, there's a part of me that, if I have to, I'm going to be by myself and I'm going to be okay, then it's a great opportunity to lean into new relationships or into existing relationships to tackle, situations where you're walking on eggshells and really bringing the topic up, making it a discussion, allowing yourselves to feel those uncomfortable feelings because you can handle them. Like, we can handle a lot. It's just a matter of, are we going to use the ability to handle other people's emotions to really stay present with those emotions? Are we going to use that to make another person feel comfortable? And we are, as I always say, barely keeping our head above water? Or are we going to push it back to the other people that are putting those emotions onto us if those aren't emotions we want to feel? If another person is living life in a way that makes them feel good, but that behavior doesn't feel good to you, then you have the right to say, sorry, that's who I am. That's what I need. You can make a decision if you want to be close to me or not. And we can still have a great relationship. It might be just better if we're psychologically a little bit more distant. And you'll be surprised how many people will actually want to get closer to you after that, while you're being authentically yourself. So remember, for us INFJs, relationships can be the biggest catapult to growth. So just allow yourself to go through it as long as you're able to really look at the emotions that are being evoked in you and to tackle them and not take them personally, but to be able to dissect them, look at them from a bird's eye view, and to understand that if you are feeling something that is uncomfortable, then let's interpret that as a great thing, because it is a key to the next step in our personal evolution. Remember, if you want some more insights how to tackle your INFJ epic life, how to get that process started or accelerated, then check out the formula to the INFJ epic life formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, get the INFJ epic life audio guide today. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then check out the video you see on the screen right now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.